AT&T Summit Stadium is filling up as we are under an hour away from the opening show of the 24th World Scout Jamboree. Bonjour. Bonjour. Hello. Hola. Hey everyone, and welcome to New World Live.
Today is a special day because we are live ahead of the opening show for the 24th World Scout Jamboree, hosted by Scouts Mexico, the Boy Scouts of America, and Scouts Canada. I'm Willie Shao from the Boy Scouts of America.
And I am Diana Carrillo from Asociación de Scouts de México, Scouts Mexico. And we are going to be your host this evening. Tonight, it's going to be a little bit special and very special because we will be covering the grand and great opening ceremony of this World Scout Jamboree.
The opening show for the Jamboree will be attended by Scouts, Guides, and Scouters here in the AT&T Stadium at the Summit Bechtel Reserve in West Virginia.
We can already see all the contingents from all participating countries entering the arena, dancing, and getting ready for the show. We have our field correspondent, Luc Muller, in the arena ahead of tonight's show. So what is it most likely there, Luc?
Oh, we're on, okay. Good evening, World Scout Jamboree. This is Luke coming to you live from the Summit Stadium where we are about to start the opening show. But first, we have a couple of guests here with us, some very musical scouts. Would you like to tell us where you're from and your journey, how you got here?
Yeah, so we are Unit 94 and we are from Stirling in Scotland. And it took us about a couple of days to get here, 2 flights, lots of bus journeys, and it's been amazing so far. Yeah.
All right, great. And what are you going to play for us?
They're going to play Scotland the Brave.
Fantastic, I can't wait. Take it away. Absolutely terrific. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll throw it back over to you at the set.
And our guide to the event this evening will be our Dream Team colleague from Scouts Canada, Keegan Eatman. Keegan, you're keeping an eye on the arena for us. What's it like in there, and what are you up to tonight?
Well, Willie, I'll be covering the event as it unfolds tonight, and as our troops load into the stadium, you know, there's been no shortage of excitement of people cheering and singing, you know, the bagpipes from Scotland as they proceeded in. So we're tracking across and we're looking at the social media, so we're seeing an explosion of posts from inside, all kinds of excitement as the stadium fills up and we get ready to really open up this Jamboree with new friends from all around the world. For those of you who haven't been at an event like this, you're in for an amazing experience. You know, the stadium is just so full of color. It's so full of excitement for people who have now set up their tents. They've had their first day of program. I think they're really just ready to get this sort of festival of scouting started and really see what we can unlock over the next week.
Thanks, Keegan. This is going to be so amazing. So me, Willie, and all the live stream viewers will be following your commentary throughout the event.
The opening show will take place in an open-air stadium, so let's all hope that the weather is going to be great.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't rain. So to make sure, we will go with our colleague Kyle Kippel for the latest weather report.
The opening ceremony of the World Scout Jamboree kicks off this evening around 7:30. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kippel. Temperatures will be a little on the cooler side, 62 degrees Fahrenheit tonight for the opening ceremony, wind around 5 to 15 miles per hour, 17 degrees Celsius, around 5 to 15 kilometers per hour will be the wind, and not looking much at a rain chance. But tonight's lows will be getting a degree or two colder after the opening ceremony. Lower 60s across southern West Virginia tonight. That's going to be around 16 degrees Celsius going into the evening time hours. Will be mostly clear with a few clouds here or there, waking up with some potential fog across the valley. There's that cold front that's well east of our area, but I want to draw your attention to this here. Cooler and drier air will be filtering into West Virginia and the Summit Bechtel Reserve. That means more manageable conditions over the next couple days as temperatures stay cool, and we really won't see any much of a rain chance over the next couple days. Tomorrow's highs for Wednesday, 72 degrees at the Summit Bechtel Reserve. That's around 22 degrees Celsius. And make sure you're drinking water as these temperatures start to warm back up this week. Wednesday night lows will be dropping to around 53 degrees or around 12 degrees in Celsius, which will be feeling nice for those evening time activities. Take a look at your 3-day outlook. You can see that gradual warming trend in Fahrenheit, 76 degrees tomorrow, 79 on Thursday, 83 degrees Fahrenheit on Friday. So yeah, we'll be back in the 80s by the end of this week, and evening time lows stinking around in the mid 50s over the next couple days. In Celsius, you can see that same warming trend, 24 on Wednesday, 26 on Thursday, and 28 degrees on Friday. Evening time lows staying in the low to mid teens, 12, 13, and 14 degrees over the next couple days. Now, as you're going out and about at the World Scout Jamboree, remember to stay hydrated. H2O is the way to go. And as we see this warming trend on the 6-day forecast, you're going to want to keep that water bottle handy and full of water as you go through your activities at the World Scout Jamboree. We'll be in the 80s on Friday, 84 on Sunday, 85 on Monday, and even in Celsius, you can see that gradual warming trend approaching 30 degrees by the weekend.
Thanks, Kyle. Let's hope we will get an amazing evening here at the summit. As we said yesterday, this is the most connected World Jamboree ever. And for this, we have Ed Lines here with us, who is the area lead of Connected Experience and who will share with us some of the insights about his work in the area. Welcome, Ed.
Hey, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So first, we would like to ask you, how does we actually, from Connected Experience, help participants to be connected?
So if you think about the typical Jamboree experience, all the different activities at a Jamboree kind of exist almost in kind of different components that scouts interact with sort of individually. The Connected Experience is designed to take all those activities and stitch them together into a single cohesive experience that guides scouts through the Jamboree. So here at this particular event, we have a few signature programs that are really exciting. The first is our Globe Leadership Program, which is an experience that scouts can go through to learn a little bit about leadership around the world, their own leadership styles, and how they might take that back home to their home country and apply that within their unit. We have our Model UN program that brings together delegates from all different countries around the world to solve practical problems through the lens of scouting. And of course, kind of the coolest program at the Jamboree, in my opinion, is our Novus program. If you see pictures of the Jamboree at home, you notice everyone has one of these great wristbands on. It's a program called Novus, and we'll click to start. This is a program that allows scouts to share their contact information with one another, replacing the kind of old school business card that we used to give out at Jamborees in the past, share our social media information so we can stay connected. And then at events around the Jamboree, earn badges by checking in, by pressing their band, participating in those programs, and maybe some special surprises at the shows as well, we'll see.
That is nice, and I'm sure this will help, of course, participants unlock a new world with this Connected Experience. Yes, I'm sure. But what about our fellow scouts that are home? How can they get engaged through Connected Experience?
That's a great question. So there's 50 million scouts around the world, like those watching at home, who aren't able to join us here in West Virginia. And at this particular Jamboree, we're trying for the first time to make sure that every one of them has the opportunity to experience the magic of a Jamboree. So there's a couple ways they can participate. The first and most obvious is we'll say hello to everybody at home who's already part of the Connected experience by watching our live stream here each night. We have a program called the Global Ambassadors. So every country who's here at the Jamboree has been allowed to appoint one lucky scout who becomes their ambassador at the Jamboree. And if you go to the World Jamboree website, you can look up your home country and start to follow that scout who probably has experiences a lot like yours, depending on what country you're from, and will be able to post in your language about their experience at the Jamboree, share photos, share videos, and we've worked with the rest of the program staff to give them really some exceptional access to the event and a chance for people back home to see what it's like to be at a Jamboree.
That is so cool because we can actually engage those 50 million scouts that are out there and couldn't make it to this Jamboree, but hopefully they will make it to another one.
Yes.
And you know, Jamborees are about cultural diversity. So as you lead hundreds of members in your team, what does it take to break these cultural barriers, language, and to bring everyone together to be the most connected experience possible?
It's interesting. I think I might think of it a different way, right? So we all come from 167 or whatever different countries with unique cultural backgrounds, but what we share is a common culture in scouting. And I think when you bring these people together, and I've seen this with our team this week, who's just absolutely incredible, that everybody in the room wearing a necker, tied in the same way, comes from the same tradition and heritage that's rooted in, you know, what Baden-Powell started 119 years ago or whatever. And for us, I think the way we bring our team together maybe is to think less about the ways that we're different and more about that heritage that we all get to share together. And more importantly, again, how we can connect all the other scouts that are here and all those people at home with that same connection that we feel to the program.
And that is about the Jamboree, sharing values, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm sure there were some challenges along the way. So can you share with us what was the biggest challenge you faced?
You know, I think like building anything, probably recruiting great people. And I'll tell you that the team at the Connected experience is just, again, phenomenal. I really believe that everything's about teamwork, right? We like to say in our group, that's what makes the dream work. And this is the dream that we've been dreaming and working towards for the last 4 years. From every one of our individual area leads, Brandon and Scott and Jason and Jake, down to their team leads and now down to the couple hundred IST that we have with us. Every single one of them has been committed to this vision of connecting the Jamboree. And it's just absolutely blown my mind the way that their creativity, their talents, their intellect have come together and created something I think really, really, really special. So not hard for me. It's hard for each and every one of them every day to put up with me probably. But they're all incredibly talented, and that's really, I think, what makes it all happen.
I'm glad to hear that. And I've also heard you've been to Jamborees before. So in your opinion, what would be different in this World Scout Jamboree?
Well, I've only been to American Jamborees before.
Okay.
So for starters, this Jamboree certainly looks a lot different in terms of the people that are here. I think there's a totally different perspective and openness that the scouts at this Jamboree have to experience, to each other, to understanding what the world of scouting looks like. For me, I'm most excited about the opportunity to see all those things come together, right? So even those of us that travel, we see one culture at a time when we travel around the world. And I think for me, what's making this Jamboree different is seeing all of them, whether it's a place like World Point or at the International Food Houses, come together into a single place, and how all those things exist side by side and maybe have more, again, commonalities than we would think.
And lastly, I would like to ask, with this opening ceremony just about to start and all the scouts coming together to celebrate cultural diversity, what are you most excited about this Jamboree?
You know, our team was talking about this the other day, about what our commitment to the Jamboree is, what our commitment to the participants are. The thing that excites me most is, or I should say that I hope that it will excite me most, is that every day there's hopefully a handful of scouts that go back to their tent, they put their head down on their sleeping bag, they close their eyes and they think to themselves that today was the best day that they've ever had in their entire lives because of scouting, because of the Jamboree, and because of what our teams are delivering as part of the program. So I really believe this week we're going to absolutely change the lives of some young people in a way that's just going to influence their trajectory and, of course, the trajectory of the entire world. So we're excited to see it happen, and it's going to be a great 10 or 12 days here.
We will, and I'm sure we will inspire not only the 45,000 scouts here, but through Connected Experience, we will inspire, hopefully, the 50 million that are out there.
And hopefully we'll see them in Korea in a couple of years.
Yes, we will. Thank you very much, Ed
My
Lyons,
pleasure.
for being
Thank you
here.
very much.
Thank you. Look, I hear that you have met with some of the scouts in the stadium. Can you tell us what's going out there, please?
Hello again, World Scout Jamboree. This is your pal Luke, still here at the Summit Stadium. As you can see, it is really filling up nicely here. There are a lot of scouts, and they're still coming in strong. More and more every second, contingent after contingent. Everyone here is really, really excited, and I don't blame them. The weather has cleared up beautifully. What started as a somewhat dreary and drizzly day has become a sunny, nice, and perfectly temperatured afternoon to evening. This is going to be a fantastic show. And here with me, I have a couple more excited scouts who are just about ready for the show to start. Would you like to start by telling me your names?
Hi, my name is Jude, and here.
Hi, mabuhay. I'm Toby from the Philippines.
All right, so you said you're from the Philippines, yes? All right, great. So what are you most excited for here at the Jamboree?
Well, mostly I'm really excited to meet new people and gain a new perspective on scouting around the world.
I'm excited to make more friends around the world.
Great, I am too, let me tell you. And one final question. On your travels here, what was your favorite part about the journey?
Well, we had a long layover in Los Angeles, and we were able to meet other contingents who were already there, and it was really nice to meet all of them there.
The funnest part was all the memories, all the pictures we took, and the fun we had during the travel.
Awesome, I really can't argue with you there. Thank you very much for joining me. Sounds like they had a fantastic and fun journey and made the most of a great layover in Los Angeles. All right, throwing it back over to you with the set.
Thank you very much, Luke. So now let's hand it over to Keegan and get a look at what's happening in the stadium, some comments around that. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. The stadium, as I've mentioned before, is filling up fast as all our contingents from around the world have started to shuffle in and get ready for our opening show. It's a flurry of color and activity with lots of flags waving, and there's a lot to celebrate tonight. Over the past few years, since 2013, Scouts have completed 1.2 billion hours of community service. So we're really celebrating the efforts of those 50 million Scouts from around the world, who hopefully are joining us via live stream if they're not able to be here. There's no shortage of activity and things that have been going on today. Program opened up, so we've had our first scouts hitting some of our big zip lines, as well as exploring the Global Development Village, so they can really start to learn about each other's cultures and embrace really the spirit of friendship and unity that we've tried to strive and have at this Jamboree. Our three host countries of the United States, Canada, and Mexico are some large scouting countries. Scouting in the US has 2.5 million Eagle Scouts. Mexico has 50,000 members, and Canada has 100,000 members. The largest of those, the United States, has 2 million members. You can see that some large flags are starting to make their way around the stadium, and that's really, I think, one of the hallmark moments with our stadium shows is seeing all of those flags and the colors, and as the groups start to push together and just really become that sense of community. For this Jamboree, it's no small feat to feed all of these people that are packing into the stadium. There's over 500,000 meals that will be served, including 190,000 boxes of cereal. To go with that cereal, 9,500 gallons of milk, or 36,000 liters if you're not from the United States. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day, and the 415,000 eggs that'll be cracked and served will definitely make sure that our participants are fueled for the day to explore and have some great adventures. So as we get ready, you'll see some activities starting in the stadium. I think our last couple of sound checks as we get ready. So stay with us, and we'll cover you through the live show. And be sure to stay till the end, because I've heard there might be some great things happening. Willie, what's the thing you're looking forward to most in this stadium show?
Well, I think, this is the first time that we're going to gather that many scouts into the stadium, in the arena. We're not even sure if they're going to fit. They'll fit. But, seeing all of those countries together, all the flags waving around, and a show that's really going to be multicultural and World Scouting-wise, that's just going to be amazing. I think it's in theme with meeting a lot of folks at the Jamboree from all different countries, and I think we'll see that reflected on stage, too.
Absolutely. Our Rover Brigade, which is part of our international service team here at the Jamboree, is doing a great job of making sure that they get into the stadium safely, along with our stewards and our safety teams. Deanna, what's the thing you're looking forward to most as part of this stadium show and the opening night?
Well, I heard there are going to be some interesting surprises, so I really want to discover what surprises we have. And I would like to say also, yesterday I told you guys I went to my first World Scout Jamboree in 2011, and I have here in my memories the opening show. So I am willing that these participants will have that for the rest of their lives too.
I think they sure will. And if you look over Willie's shoulder, you actually get to see some of those participants loading into the stadium. So
yeah.
Willie, over to you.
Another thought about loading the stadium. So we've been here since July 13th, and we've seen this stadium team putting up all the big screens in there, setting up the stage, making it and they've been working constantly. And so it's really exciting seeing that come together now. Yeah.
Awesome. Our field correspondent Luke has caught up with some members of the Australian contingent. Luke, can you give us a sense of what's still going on in that stadium?
Hey, hello again, World Scout Jamboree. It's your friend Luke, and we are getting closer and closer to showtime. People are getting, excited. The hype is really amped up in here, and things are really picking up pace. We have a couple more really excited scouts that we're going to talk to right now. Can you tell me a little bit about where you're from?
So we're from all over Australia, and I'm personally from Sydney, so yeah.
Great. And I heard you guys did a little bit of touring before you came here to the Jamboree. Can you tell me where you went and a little bit about your travels?
Yeah, no worries. So we went to Washington, D.C., and after a 20-hour or more flight for us, and we had a lot of fun just going around and checking all the monuments out and everything else that was around there to do.
20-hour flight, that sounds like a long one.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite monument or landmark in D.C. that you visited?
Probably the White House, because it's probably the biggest and most amazing one to see. Just go, wow, it's actually really huge, because you see all the photos and stuff, but it's when you go there, it's actually bigger than you think. So yeah.
Fantastic. And that reminds me of one time my troop visited the White House and a kid kicked a hacky sack over the White House fence. We never saw it again. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we'll throw it back over to you guys at the set.
All right, thanks so much, Luke. It sounds like the Australians are ready to go for tonight. I see we had one kangaroo in the stadium, but did you know there are actually more kangaroos than people in Australia?
I did not know that, and I think there's a hacky sack here somewhere.
We'll have to get that back to Luke when he gets back here. Deanna, so what's special about flags at a World Scout Jamboree?
Well, I think the most special thing there, apart from seeing them hanging around, and it's when the actual opening ceremony starts and they have these flags coming, and then they're saying your country name, and then everyone shouts. I think that's very, very, very exciting, and we'll see it.
Yeah, maybe one person that we who's not going to join us on set today, but someone we should call out is the stadium show's director. Yeah. His name is David Kerr, and he has done just a phenomenal job of putting this together, and he's done a series of shows like the Olympics and such. So he's quite good at what he does, and we're excited to see what that manifests out here today.
Yeah, I think, the set they've come up with is beautiful. It's a perfect place to sort of launch this celebration. And I think it's going to be that perfect backdrop with the lake behind us. You know, the stadium is also just behind us. So they've got that same backdrop to kick off this celebration.
And the weather is really nice, so we should be very grateful about that. It's going to be a great show. I would also like to thank all the ISCs that have been working so hard to make this a great experience for the participants and the ISCs that are going to leave this amazing opening ceremony.
Absolutely, and I'm hearing that Luke has met up with some other Australians out in the field, so we're going to go back to Luke.
Hey, welcome back, World Scout Jamboree. We're back with this fantastic Australian contingent because they have one more surprise in store for us. It is a fantastic cheer that they are going to perform for everyone right now live around the world. Take it away.
Ready? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Hey, hey, hey! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Hey, hey, hey! Aussie! Hey! Aussie! Hey! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Hey, hey, hey!
Thank you very much, guys. You can really hear the enthusiasm there. I hope you're looking forward to a fantastic show. And one more time, we're going to throw it back over to you at the set.
That's great.
That's great. I actually think I heard that cheer from that same group on the way by into the stadium.
I imagine we'll be hearing that for a couple more days here at the Jamboree.
Yeah, and if you could get us more cheers around the world, that would be amazing in different languages. We want to hear them all.
Yeah, I think every country should come up with their own cheer, like the Aussie, Aussie, Aussie cheer.
Yeah, and just they can have that for the closing show.
Jamboree,
they've got some time.
Jamboree, Jamboree.
It looks like, Willie, you've created ours for the planning team, so we'll have to make sure we spread that around.
So Keegan, I know you have some more facts about food here at the Jamboree, and as everyone knows, I love the food houses. I love the food here. Everyone on set watched me eat multiple pieces of brisket yesterday. What are some other food facts that you have for us?
I mean, I think one thing that's great about this Jamboree is that we've got a great food team who have worked so hard to make sure that our participants and our volunteers are fueled and ready to go for the day. And there's such a great variety, but one of the things that I think is staggering is that there's going to be 1.1 billion grains of rice served. And that doesn't even include our Rice Krispie treats.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and we talked about the eggs earlier, but I love nothing more in the morning with my eggs and some cheese. So there's 3 tons of cheese that will be served at this Jamboree.
That's a lot of cheese.
Wow, and I hope, the Scouts will help us here to separate waste and recycle what we can, because it's not only about eating and being fueled for the day, but also the impact we have here at the Jamboree. So I hope after this opening ceremony to start with, we will not have a lot of trash in the arena.
Absolutely. So the theme for this Jamboree, which we talked a little bit about yesterday, is Unlock a New World, and it was sort of chosen by Dream Team. Yeah. What does that concept of Unlock a New World mean to you, and how do you think that it flows into the opening show?
Yeah, so when we think about that, so the 3 of us are all part of Dream Team, and we started on this journey about 7 years ago. And literally at that first meeting, we pulled up some notes last week, and we saw, we had 4 or 5 different options about what theme we wanted to choose for this Jamboree. And I think Unlock a New World really stuck out to us, because I think it's the North America has not hosted a World Scout Jamboree in a long time. And it's an exciting opportunity for us to discover a World Scout Jamboree, but with new technologies, new experiences. Even if you look at, Novus and Connected Experience, that's very much a part of it. And so just seeing all of these new things, I think these 12 days are going to be a time where these kids really get to unlock what that feels like. I met someone who went to a World Jamboree in 1980 or something, and he's from Birmingham, UK. And I met him. He found out I was doing this thing for the World Scout Jamboree, and he turned to me and he said, I went to the Jamboree and I met someone from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm from Birmingham, UK, and I'll remember that for the rest of my life. And so something like that, it'll just stick with him forever. And I think everyone will have an experience like that in these 12 days. And so unlocking that is where that theme is.
I remember that meeting. I remember those notes, and we were playing around with that word. We were saying, yes, it's about unlocking a new world, but what does that take, right?
Yeah.
It takes to unlock new friendships. It takes to unlock new ways of doing things, new adventures. So it's unlocking your world, but it's also, for us as a Dream Team coming from different countries, I think it's been a great experience to unlock our potential as co-hosts. So there are no barriers between our countries. I think that's been very exciting, and that has also unlocked our world.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much. We're ready to unlock the world, and we're going to throw you over now to the AT&T Summit Stadium for the opening show. Good night.
My face above the water. My feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like